I'm already talking about order. We already live in a world that's out of order. Okay, the world is out of order, but in the church is some things that's out of too, according to the Bible. Where the pastor put his hand on somebody and they fall on the floor and they run around the room and out on the floor. That ain't in the Bible. Jesus Christ ain't knocking nobody to the floor. That ain't in the Bible. That's false doctrine. That's nowhere in the Bible. You can't find that nowhere in the Bible. And they talking about slaying in the spirit. Jesus Christ's not doing that. He don't do that. That ain't in there. The person running around the room, screaming, yelling, falling on the floor, people all laying on the floor. That ain't in the Bible. That ain't in there. That's false doctrine. That's false teaching according to the Bible. That's false doctrine. People falling out in church, laying all on the floor, running around the room. Jesus Christ is a God of order, not disorder. I always want to know, where is that coming from? The pastor lays his hand on somebody and they talking about when the power of the Holy Spirit comes, somebody falling on the floor. That ain't in the Bible. That ain't nowhere in there. Nope. It says in Corinthians 13, Corinthians 14:33. For God is not a God of disorder, but of peace. So Jesus Christ is a God of order and peace. That's not from Jesus. People run around the room, fall on the floor. And sometimes the pastor push people on the floor. That ain't from Jesus. Jesus Christ is a God of order. It's order. He's a God of order. That's not Jesus. When the Holy Spirit comes on you, he doesn't knock you to the floor. That's not from the Bible. I don't see that nowhere in the Bible. Jesus Christ is not knocking people on the floor. When the Holy Spirit comes upon you, let's see what it says. It don't say nothing about falling in the floor. It says in Acts 1:18, when you receive the power of the Holy Spirit comes upon you, you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in Judea, and Samaria, and all the ends of the earth. So that's what happens when the Holy Spirit of God, when you get filled up with Jesus. You're not falling the floor and running around the room. There is no slain in the spirit. That ain't there. Nope. But when you receive power, when you receive the power of the Holy Spirit come upon you, you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in Judea, Samaria, and all the ends of the earth. So when someone is filled with God's Holy Spirit and his power, Acts 1:18, they don't fall on the floor and run around the room and scream and yell and holler. That's not in the Bible. Jesus Christ is a God of order, not disorder. When you get filled up with God's Holy Spirit, it don't say nothing about falling on the floor. It's not in there. I don't see it. It's Acts 1:18. Acts 1:18. When you receive the power of the Holy Spirit, which is Jesus, you don't fall on the floor. And somebody push you on the floor and say it with Jesus. That's not from the Bible. Jesus Christ is a God of order, not disorder. Bye-bye.